right, today I want to talk a little bit about the civil rights movement. I know I've done a few videos on it before. Um, Mainly, this time I want to talk a bit about the involvement. A lot of people think that blacks was heavily involved in the civil rights movement, but when in actuality they really wasn't. I don't think they really had their hand in writing the civil rights bill. Whose signature was on that? From my understanding, is that the civil rights bill was an extension of the Reconstruction bill that happened after the Civil War. I think Johnson he kind of cut that out. So Andrew Johnson, I think they created a compromise in 1864 where they just kind of like eliminated a lot of the Reconstruction bill, such as I think they had the Freeman, some of the Freeman bills in there too, where they, I guess they kind of like helped out some of the slaves and stuff. But mainly, my conclusion is this: that blacks, although we think they played a large role, they really didn't. So mainly the Republicans, from my understanding, is that the Republicans actually had this bill, I guess, in their drawer somewhere, and they were just waiting for the right time to bring it out and put it in circulation. So mainly, from my understanding, is that it's a Republican um, from Arizona. I forget if he was in the Senate or if he was a congressman. Anyway, he wanted to push the bill too. Mainly, the Republicans after the Civil War, they pushed a lot of the Reconstruction bills through, and get stuff like that done. So they was mainly the architecture behind a lot of the civil rights bill after the Civil War, as far as helping out the people in the South, get their, you know, become independent, I guess. So a lot of the Republicans was heavily involved, and so this particular Republican, he wanted to push the civil rights bill, but he didn't necessarily want to like put the so mainly he wanted to push the bill, the civil rights bill. I forget what it was, probably named something else. But he necessarily didn't want to put the Republican stamp on it. So he wanted some Democrats to, try to get involved. And I think that's where some of the Democrats actually try to put something together, and not necessarily put something together, but they was already, mainly he just wanted them to get behind it, and that's what actually eventually happened. A lot of the Democrats, I think Johnson, LBJ, he got behind it, and they pushed it on through. So mainly as we look back in history and stuff like that, with a lot of the protests and stuff, I think mainly that was just like window dressing, just to say, hey, this is what we trying to get passed, and stuff like that, and it was mainly just some show, it wasn't necessarily, for really any serious stuff, because all the people they really had their hands in it already, and all they had to do was sign it. So mainly, I guess to try to say, it wasn't pushed through. It's like, oh yeah, those people was out there, they was fighting and struggling for their civil rights. It's just a show mainly because the politicians, they already had it. They had it in the drawer for like probably 50 or 60 years. So they were just waiting for the right time, where they can push it on through and where they won't get that much, uh, flack from the people, from the ordinary people.